Breaking news!
Food waste and food production have recently been linked to global warming.
Here's Noah with more details.
Here's the carbon cycle. The carbon cycle warms the earth when there's excess carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Carbon sources, such as land clearing and biomass destruction, cause more carbon to become prevalent in the atmosphere.
Carbon sinks take carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. An example of this are plants that perform photosynthesis. Because these plants are performing photosynthesis, they take carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. But when these plants are taken down because of food consumption, it creates and adds more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere.
This is obviously a very prevalent issue here at Michigan State.
To conduct further research, we handed out 43 surveys to students regarding food waste in cafeterias at MSU. The results are as follows. Students were asked what their plate typically looks like after they finish eating at the cafeteria. 32 students, or 74.4%, said that they throw away a large portion of their food. 5 students, or 11.6%, said it looked like their plate was half eaten, and only 6 students, or 14%, said their plate was empty.
We gave students a true-false statement that said, I eat smaller portions of fewer foods rather than getting a bunch of food at any portion. Only 5 students, or 11.6%, said true, that they get smaller portions, and 38 students, or 88.4%, said false. They get random large portions of different foods.
We asked students, what picture most accurately describes your plate for dinner at MSU cafeterias? The results we got were shocking. 38 students, or 88.4%, said that they chose to get larger portions of food rather than 5 students, or 11.6%, that said they got smaller portions of food.
In another true-false statement, we said, I typically get all the food that I want at once, rather than going up in seconds. 32 students, or 74.4%, said that they will get all their food at once. And 11 students, 25.6%, said that they will go up and get seconds.
We asked students what their initial thoughts about the cafeteria were when they first arrived at Michigan State University. And everybody responded with things like, wow, there was so much food, I wanted it all. And I was so overwhelmed and excited about all the food choices.
Today we have Erica that works at a cafeteria at Michigan State University. Erica, what do you notice about the amount of food wasted at the cafeteria?
Well, there's a lot of food waste in the cafeteria. A lot of students don't finish the food on their plate. They think that there's always more food available, so they don't need to rationalize food.
At the end of the night, do you notice any food that was made and that was not eaten?
There is a lot of food that we actually dump out.
Do you have any ideas as to how the cafeteria could reduce the amount of food wasted, ultimately reducing global warming?
We could ration plates, and if they want more food, they can come in and get seconds instead of getting a lot of food at once. We could also post pictures around the cafeteria that let them know how dangerous food waste can be towards students and see what they're actually eating. If we reduce the amount of food that they waste, we won't have to produce as much food in the cafeteria as well, and this would definitely ease global warming.
I think you have some really good ideas. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you coming in today, because the more that we bring this problem to the light, the more we can try to make efforts to fix it. This is a problem that is not on the front burner of many people's minds, and I'm really glad that you were able to provide some personal insight to the situation. We recently interviewed random bystanders and asked them questions about their views on the cafeteria and food waste.
What was your first reaction when you walked into a cafeteria at Michigan State?
There was just so much food, I wanted to eat everything.
Kenzie, what do you think happens to your food when you throw it away?
It doesn't really matter. I don't really think about it. I just kind of pay for it and then eat it, and that's about it.
Overproduction of food is linked to global warming because the plants and food that we harvest has added carbon dioxide to the atmosphere because these plants aren't able to take the carbon dioxide for photosynthesis.
Food waste is linked to global warming because 95% of wasted food is put into landfills or combustion facilities, which emits large amounts of methane to the atmosphere. Methane is one of the greenhouse gases which contributes to the greenhouse effect, which only enhances the increasing climate change.
As students on campus, there are many things that you can do to be part of this change. If you ration food and take smaller portions, there will be less food wasted, and this will also decrease the amount of food that is produced with university use.
I think we need to bring these issues to the students so that the students are more conscious of the food that they waste and the impact that they're making on the environment.
I'm Joe Bashi, and I approve this message.
Brought to you and sponsored by Starbucks Coffee.
Stop and enjoy any one of our warm beverages.